Good day, everyone. My name is Joshua Von Octus, and I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. The world has changed much since I last uploaded a video blog. Murder, riots, chaos, war. Were I an Abrahamic, I would be convinced that the four horsemen are running through the countryside. The madness that has engulfed Western civilization has manifested into the destruction of homes, businesses, and emergency response units. Humanity burns, and the world watches as chaos marches on. Woke ideology has become ingrained in every part of our culture. Whether through fear or force, every aspect of our lives has become buried with wokeness, and any idea to the contrary is immediately stamped out. It has destroyed several subcultures, groups, and most importantly, faiths. My video today is on my religion, Kemeticism, also known as Kemetic paganism, and the groups that seek to transform and mutate our religion into something that would be twisted and unrecognizable. These people seek to corrupt our faith through the guise of social justice. For those unaware, though I doubt there are many, social justice is the process of demonization through victimization, in which a larger group is vilified by another group for the crimes and actions of a smaller group. These individuals use fear, manipulation, violence, and extortion in order to force an individual or group to change their way of thinking to one that suits them. You see this in modern day times as feminism, LGBT, and the black supremacy movement known as Black Lives Matter. Folks from these groups and others have pushed themselves into religion and tried to make it conform to their viewpoints, with such ideas as white guilt, stopping male supremacy, transgenderism is natural, and at times, it's okay to have sex with kids.
At 15.
Right. In any other area of medicine, a doctor makes that. They say, hold on, I know you think you need, whatever, an opioid, but just relax. Let's see what you're, that's, effectively what facilitated the opioid crisis. Doctors just handing over the prescription pad. And we're seeing that right now with anybody who claims to have gender dysphoria. They get it. They self-diagnose. They say, no, I know it's my problem. They don't have a mental health professional who says, oh, wait a second, hold on. You have very high anxiety, depression. You have a lot of other mental health stuff going on. Let's deal with that first. Any therapist who dares to say that might violate one of the 19 conversion therapy laws we now have in 19 different states.
There's 19 conversion
I think it's 19,
therapy?
yeah, which bans so-called conversion therapy, even on gender identity, which means that therapists could lose their license if they say, hold on, I know you want to transition. I know you think your problem is gender dysphoria. Let's talk about some of your other problems.
Kemeticism is simply the worship of the ancient Egyptian deities, also known as the Neteru. We have no political adherents. We have no central holy book, but we all follow a code known as Maat. While it does not have a direct English translation, it is often translated as truth, justice, and that which is right. We are considered a religion under the banner paganism. In recent times, I have been in mental fisticuffs with a group known as Kemetic Reform. This group is led by a woman named Sharon Laborde. Years ago, when I was trying to find other Kemetics, I stumbled upon her forum and YouTube channel, Kemetic Independent. At first, I was really glad that I found somebody who served the gods, like I did. However, as the years went by and I became more acquainted with her work, I began to notice a disturbing trend. She became more leftist over time, first showing her disdain for President Trump against Hillary, then her support for feminism, social justice, and Black Lives Matter. Then, what tore me from this false bond of trust was her announcement and acceptance of transgenders, gender fluid people, the furry subculture, and wokeness. At one point in this announcement video, she said that she saw no difference between furries and us worshiping the deities that come to us, sometimes in anthropomorphic forms. To our dumbfoundedness, Sharon had jumped off the cliff of leftism, and we could only watch in awe.
Now, frankly, as a pagan who worships deities that manifest in hybrid animal forms, I see no reason to criticize anyone who's a furry. Now, I went to Texas Furry Fiesta in January of 2019 because I wanted to see what the scene was all about. I wanted to learn more about it. And I have to tell you, it was a great convention, and there were some incredibly creative and talented people at this convention. I decided then and there that whenever this temple gets to a point where we need an Anubis mask, or if we get fortunate enough to put on a production of The Triumph of Horus and we need Horus and Jehuti masks, I'm commissioning a furry artist to do them. Because those are some really talented and really phenomenal artists.
Surprisingly, her members started following suit. Though some of those people were already leftists beforehand, they had no problem jumping off said cliff and moving a few points more to the left. Only a few balked at this Malthian lunacy and retreated into the hills. We were shattered, torn apart and scattered to the winds. A guide in our faith had proven itself fraudulent, and in that cold realization we recognized a hidden truth. Sharon was no more a follower of the gods than a tool of Marxist ideology. A lot of us retreated from our public personas into our private homes. We felt betrayed, confused. Some of us began to think that we did something wrong. Blame was tossed around, feelings were hurt, and shouting could be heard for miles. Until finally, I stood up and told everyone to stop. No one here was to blame. Sharon and her group had made their choice. There was nothing we could do to change the past. The only thing we could do was move forward. Every one of us had been a practitioner of Kemeticism before we met Sharon, though to say she didn't sully our faith would be a lie. Cries of rebellion could be heard within our small group, and two people stepped forward. One, a storm chaser, the other, a traveler and a painter. Why do you not start your own tradition, Josh? We'll back you up. My reply was simple, but enlightening. That would go against the point. Kemeticism is our faith. Not Kemetic reform, not Kemetic orthodoxy, just Kemetic. Our religion is not a social justice platform, nor should it be used as one. We are all Kemetic. Marxism has no place in Kemeticism. Creating another tradition would just be seen as a war of tradition versus tradition. Instead, make Marxism impossible. Act with Maat and tell the charlatans to fuck off. Our religion is not a toy, it is ours and ours alone. No Kemetic can be a Marxist. No follower of the Neteru can claim Marxist beliefs are humane and sound. History has already shown communism to be horrible. The amount of bodies piled up in the name of communism is absurd. I ended my reply there. Everyone present came to the same conclusion. Kemeticism was our religion, not one dictated by Marxists, but by those who followed the faith. A couple of people lost their nerves and left, feeling guilt and shame for not being on Sharon's side and embracing Marxism. At that moment, we agreed to band together. Through thick and thin, our goal was clear: to uphold Maat and let the world know who we really are. Thank you all for listening. I've been planning to do this video for a very long time, and I finally have been able to get around to doing it. If you have any questions, leave them below, or follow us on the Kemetic community server over on Discord. We don't tolerate leftist activism there, we don't tolerate activism of any kind there, and we don't allow Marxist thought to propagate over there either. So if you need a safe haven from the harsh reality of a Marxist world, stop on by. In the meantime, this is Joshua von Noctis, and I wish you all Synapti.